Alright guys, welcome back to another video. We've got a host of questions to go over when it comes to the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Special Edition. I've been getting asked so much stuff about this. When is it going to be up for pre-order? What's going on with the My Nintendo only? How's everything going to play out? What's happening? What do you get with it? If there's going to be a Special Edition controller like they did with Xenoblade Chronicles 2, what comes with this? So we're going to go over all the information and facts, and then I'll also go over a few things that I think that's going to happen with this Special Edition, since I get so many questions with it. Plus, we also have some pretty important or big news when it comes to Nintendo and what they're going to be reporting with when it comes to sales, and then also a new game coming over to the West as well, and a long storied saga or franchise out there. But before we get into any of that, what's good everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to another video. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, and click that notification bell to get my RPG Nintendo videos first as we're buckling down and getting ready for Xenoblade Chronicles, Mario Strikers, Fire Emblem, and so many more games dropping soon here on the Nintendo Switch, and of course games like Final Fantasy and all that. We're covering everything, so make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, and drop a comment below on what we're going to be talking about when it comes to the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Special Edition and more. So let's go ahead and jump right into this here, guys. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Special Edition. Nintendo recently put up a store product page. So what this is that it's the actual listing on Nintendo's store to where you are going to be able to buy the game. Now, the difference between this special edition and all the other special editions that Nintendo's done when it comes to purchasing is that it's only going to be available at the My Nintendo store. That's all they're going to have it at. It's only there. In the past, it's been available like at Best Buy and also at Walmart and on Amazon and various different retailers. And this change when it comes to the special edition has got a number of people concerned, because look, these Xenoblade Chronicles special editions, they go somewhat fast. They don't go all of them snap day one. Don't let people try to think you into that, because trust me, I've been there for every single Xenoblade Chronicles special edition, and there's been times where I've even reported that the special edition is on sale months after release. But I do think now at this point, with Xenoblade being a 2 million plus franchise, with Xenoblade 2 having the rarity that it does have, Xenoblade 3 is going to have a lot more demand for just the regular game and also the special edition. So just because they've been available for a little bit longer after launch in the past doesn't mean it's going to happen this time. And I do think that Nintendo, this is just my opinion, that they're doing it through My Nintendo only in order to cut back from scalpers, because let's just keep it real here, man. Back when Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition came out on the Switch, and also Xenoblade Chronicles 2, the special editions, scalpers bought those in mass droves. You could see people selling 15, 20, 30 copies of that special edition because people didn't think one way or not. It's Xenoblade. It's not like it's just this huge franchise that's going to sell, 10 million copies. So people just didn't think about it that way. But now you're seeing it now where there's basically none of them out there, and it's hard to even get a physical edition. And of course, that special edition is going to run you a lot more money when it comes to Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And I think eventually the Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition special edition is going to cost you a lot of money as well. So I think that some precautions are being taken with this Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Special Edition. Now, I also have had some conversations with people on Twitter about what you get in this, and since, hey, look, people, it's been out there what you get, but I wanted to make sure that I let you guys know exactly what's going down here, because some people are still confused and still asking me questions about it. So let's go ahead and get into it. So this special edition of the game will also be available exclusively via the My Nintendo store, including package artwork from Masasugu Saito, a full-color 250-plus page hardcover art book, and a steel case. Stay tuned for more updates on availability. Now, it also says, join Noah and Mio, members of the two opposing nations of Kiev and Angus, on a heartfelt journey to the end of the cycle of violence. A group of 6 characters from these nations join together to awaken the colonies of Ionios and expose the true threat both nations face. Traverse massive fantastical landscapes as you learn how this game connects to the larger Xenoblade Chronicles story. Command 6 characters and seamlessly enter real-time RPG combat. All 6 of your core party members jump into action against enemies, auto-attacking with their distinct arts and weapons. Position your team to take advantage of arts and maximize damage and debuffs. Pairs of characters can interlink to form a mighty Ouroboros capable of taking down the most threatening enemies with powerful arts. Now, just to let you guys know all of the other stuff with this game, because I have gotten questions about that. It supports, of course, TV play, it supports tabletop play, and it also supports handheld play. Now, you will not be able to pass a Joy-Con or pass a controller to a friend to play right there. It is a single player RPG. It's rated T for teen, and it also says that there is in-game purchases on the ESRB rating there. So that tells me that there's probably going to be DLC for this game that they have not announced yet, because there's been DLC for Xenoblade Chronicles 2. There was DLC, there was a whole big expansion that you can get. So I'm guessing that they're going to do something along the lines of that with the expansion to where you can buy that. So that's probably what that is, which is to be no surprise, to be honest, considering how much money they made off of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Torna, the Golden Country, and that expansion pass, because that did very well for Nintendo. Now, the release date of this special edition, it's still to be decided. So if that's going to be on the day one of the release, I'm guessing that it's going to be, because I'm not sure if Nintendo's expecting people to be able to wait afterwards then buy, if that's going to be the game that they're going to be playing. So I'm guessing they're going to announce that later, but I would just guess that it's going to still be the July 29th release date of the regular edition as well. Now, this is a role-playing game. Obviously, Nintendo's the publisher, Monolith Soft is the developer, but Nintendo owns Monolith Soft. They are first party, they're not second party or preferred third party or whatever stuff that people try to say on the internet. Nintendo owns all of Monolith Soft. They've been a first-party developer for more than a decade now. Now, the game size is 14.6 gigabytes, so it fits right there on a 16 gigabyte cartridges. No need for extra downloads of parts of the game or anything like that, and it supports a slew of languages. And the good thing here, which I do think that this is something that we still need to just say, because sometimes with some of these games it doesn't happen, it does support the save data cloud. So if you have the Nintendo Switch Online or Nintendo Switch Online plus expansion pack, you will be able to have that save data cloud, where it gives you the assurance that, of course, your big Xenoblade save file will stay safe in the clouds. Or if you have multiple systems, this is where Save Data Cloud comes into play here. If you have multiple systems, like you have a Switch OLED and a Switch Lite, or if you have like a regular Switch, like a new battery Switch that you use for portable play, then you have like a Switch OLED or whatever the case is, right? If you have multiple systems, you can easily transfer between them. And if you have a physical copy and a digital copy, or if you just have a digital copy, and if you can do like the whole download on the other system thing, it easily updates to where you can have it and play on any system that you do have. So for me, you know, I do have a work Switch, I have a living room Switch, and I also have like my little bedroom Switch, my Switch Lite that I play on. And I also have a portable Switch that I take. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is that, you know, you can use multiple systems when it comes down to it, and it makes it easier. So some games, like Pokemon, for example, it never supports this. So it's tougher. You have to actually transfer the save file. That's what I had to do for Pokemon Legends Arceus, was actually transfer the save file from Switch to Switch, get it each time if I wanted to take it to my mom's house or whatever the case is. So I'm glad that, yes, it has Save Data Cloud. Usually the games that don't have the Save Data Cloud are the games that have, like, you know, item duplication and stuff like that. Xenoblade, there isn't any of that, so you don't have to worry too much about it. But that's all the information here, guys. I think that Nintendo will probably be announcing the special edition more in terms of like when it's going to be coming and all that. Probably like June. I'm guessing like June, maybe the end of May, we might hear more about it. Maybe it's sooner than that, but we're pretty much already in May at this point. So maybe the end of May, maybe June, when that actual release date is. You see all the contents here. I mean, it's kind of skimpy. Obviously, it's not, you know, it doesn't have everything that we've gotten in previous special editions for Xenoblade. Heck, Xenoblade Chronicles X had like a USB with the music on there, kind of had some cool stuff. You know, this is just kind of light, right? Just a big art book, which is cool. I mean, that looks good. Then also a steel case, and then you also have the game too. So it looks like it comes with the game and the case, and then also the steel case. So you get both, whereas some special editions, they just give you like the steel case with the game inside there. So it looks, based off this picture, as if you get the actual game case and you also get the steel case, you know. So some people, rest assured, you do get both, it seems like, from this picture here. But that's the information that I have on this special edition. As soon as it goes live, I mean, because it could be going live sooner than later. Maybe it's going live sooner than later. Like, as soon as it does, we will have updates. There will be updates. If you follow me on Twitter at PlayerEssence, I follow all the guys who put up those special editions and everything. So maybe there's already something up. but I will definitely let you guys know what's going on with this since the page is up here. It took me a little bit longer than I thought that I was going to discuss all this, but those are my thoughts on it. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Are you planning on picking this up if you can? All right, and moving on to the next topic here, guys. We have a sales update, a pretty big one from Mr. Dr. Serkan Toto of Kantan Games over on Twitter. This guy's been an analyst, has been in the industry for a long time. He said a number of different things, but it looks like he has talked about what the Nikkei has said in a recent report. So let's go over that and we'll talk about the significance of it in just a bit here. So, Japanese publication just reported online that Nintendo is set to announce 20 million Switch units at its sales forecast for the current fiscal year, which started on April 1st. Now, this is down from 23 million that Nintendo is likely to have achieved last fiscal year. Now, the Nikkei says the still high demand for the device cannot be fully matched because Nintendo still expects component shortages to restrict supply. Nintendo will report its full year earnings for the last fiscal year, always includes a fiscal for the one after that on May 10th. And he also says, sorry, this should have said always includes a forecast. So there you go. That's the full analysis. But what we need to take out of this is that Nintendo is still at this point with the shortages, still aiming to sell 20 million plus units a year. 23 million, from the previous year, 20 million again for the upcoming year. And that is incredible. The fact that there is this component shortage that's affecting Nintendo Switches. Look, guys, I haven't seen a Nintendo Switch OLED in a store at all. I haven't seen one at all. I think I thought I saw one. Might have been a mirage though. Might have been somebody just reaching out to grab the last one. But I don't think I've really seen one in stores anytime recently. So all of these companies are having sellouts. All of these companies are having manufacturing issues when it comes to Microsoft, Sony, and also Nintendo. So everybody's kind of selling really good. But the fact that Nintendo is on 5+ years and they're still selling 20 plus million of their system, when people kind of wrote this system up, they didn't think it was going to last as long as it has been, especially post PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series. The fact that they're still going really strong and could honestly, at this rate, be the best selling system of all time, especially if the next gen Switch comes out and they still support the current Switch with games and have a cross-gen plan like Microsoft has, for example, or like Sony kind of halfway had for some of their games. I think that this can lead to that actually beating out the PlayStation 2, considering that the Nintendo Switch is going to keep on pumping out so many first-party games and so many good titles that people just want to have, and they want to have this system that they can take anywhere that they want. It's almost been like a revolution for the gaming industry in that sense that people necessarily don't want to talk about too much. And I always point to the thing that just came out that people are really happy with, and it's the Steam Deck. It's not a Steam machine, which they tried, which is like a PlayStation or a traditional Xbox system. It's like a Nintendo Switch-like device, and people are just over the moon that they can play their PC games or play their titles anywhere that they want. When it becomes a certain type of game that they like, then all of a sudden, it's this wow, it's this crazy thing. But also because of all the other stuff the Steam Deck can do too. I think that there's a large factor into it. But what I was trying to say is that this whole hybrid type of thing to where you can kind of play at home, then also play on the go, take your game anywhere. That's kind of like the future. People want that aspect. People love doing that because not everybody likes to just stay at home and play video games. People like to go out. People like to go to the beach. People like to go on trips. They like to go on airplanes. They like to go to friends' houses. You can't lug around a big old huge system every single time that you go somewhere. So having a Steam Deck or having, in the past, obviously mobile phones are huge for gaming. Obviously Nintendo Switch is huge for that. A tablet, iPhone, whatever the case is, has been big. And obviously Steam Deck and Nintendo are reaping the benefits of that to where you're going to have extended popularity because it is a portable type of device as well as a home console to where you can hook it up and play too. It gives you that hybrid function that people just love. And these sales, obviously 5+ years afterwards, kind of show that, yeah, it's here to stay. And whatever Nintendo does next when it comes to their next system, if it has this same type of concept and just improves upon it, I think it's also going to be a smashing success as well because they have the first party games to back up the device. But what are your thoughts on this when it comes to what Nintendo's doing and the 20 million that they're still forecasting, still down from the previous year, but still 20 million plus? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the final topic here, guys. River City Saga 3 Kingdoms. Finally coming over to the West on July 21st. River City, This is a franchise that's near and dear to my heart. Me and my brother used to play this all the time. River City Ransom, this Kunio-kun franchise, whatever the heck it's called. It's been around for a long time with this art style and everything, and I'm really happy to see them continue going decades later because it just puts like a smile on my face. I'm just happy whenever I hear River City because I just have so many good memories. Countless hours of me and my brother playing River City Ransom back in the day, and I just really cherish it. So I wanted to talk about this new one coming out when it comes to the West here. So publisher Arc System Works and developer A+ Games will release River City Saga 3 Kingdoms for the PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, and PC via Steam on July 21st in the West for $29.99, the companies have announced. Now, the Western release is the same day as the game's PS4 and PC launch in Japan, which was announced yesterday. Also on that day, River City Saga 3 Kingdoms will be available physically in Japan for the PlayStation 4 and also the Nintendo Switch. So maybe you can do a Play Asia import on that one. And these are always pretty cool RPG beat 'em ups, old school style RPG beat 'em ups. You got Arc System Works, the fighting game gods, doing their publisher hat on, you know, and taking on some of these smaller games. A+ on the beat here, so I like this, man. This is really cool. I mean, there's a big overview of it. You have wacky and wild action. Kunio wreaks havoc in 3 Kingdoms, so it steps into a whole 3 Kingdoms to wreak havoc. Now, the beat 'em up action you know and love. There's flashy tactics moves too, so it's pretty good there as well. So you guys are checking out the trailer here. Obviously, you know, they've put a lot of time into this style of beat 'em up in the River City Saga, so the fact that it's coming back, it always, like I said, puts a smile on my face, and I'm looking forward to checking out more of this game when it launches, because I usually play the River City style games. You know, I do like those type of games, so I think it's gonna be pretty cool once this one actually comes out, going to a completely different type of saga and everything. So what are your thoughts on River City Saga 3 Kingdoms, and also what Mr. Dr. Serkan Toto said with the sales and the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 special edition stuff that's going on? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell, and we will see you for the next video. Peace.